Good morning, everybody. Morning, Survey, Trisha, Anish. How are you guys? Can you guys hear me? Is my audio okay?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Survey. Okay. Trisha, Anish, can you guys also hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Great. Okay. So, this is the third session for our blog development journey. This is the second last session. We have our last session tomorrow. In today's session, what we are going to be doing is, first of all, let's just quickly take a look at what we covered in the last session. We launched the website, right? Then we discussed about pages and posts, right? This is, yeah. So we discussed about pages and posts. We discussed about WordPress itself, what WordPress is and why are we using WordPress, what is it, what purpose does it serve. Then then I also gave out the requirements to complete your website. These are the requirements to complete your website after the fourth session. And did we also create a page? I can't remember if we did. Did we create a page as well?
Yes, we created a home test page.
We did create that, right? Okay. And we assigned it as the home page as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So today, since we have already created a page and we assigned it as the home page as well. Now today we'll first start off with post, right? We discussed about posts as well in yesterday's session. I'll give you a few examples once again in today's session and we'll talk about it a little more. And then we'll also create a post, we'll create categories. And after that, hopefully we'll have still a lot of time and then we'll talk about some other things as well. But let's start off with posts first. So this is what we discussed yesterday about posts, that whenever you want to give out regular updates such as blogs, articles, or news articles, then you have to use the posts section and you have to add a new post for that, not a page. Posts can be categorized or tagged for easier navigation. So we'll take a look at Digital Vidya's website once again. I think we used this example yesterday also. So we'll just take a look at this and I'm straight away heading to the blog section. So right here, these are all of the categories for the blogs, right? I can select any category that I am interested in and I can read all of the blogs that are posted on Digital Vidya's website about it. So if I'm interested in, let's say, social media marketing, I can click on that and I'll see all of the posts related to social media marketing here. Then below this is a regular, so they've added their posts, all of the posts they're showcasing on a page. Okay, that's a different story. That is why you can see this in demand course and this section here. Otherwise, on a category page, you will only be able to see the posts related to that category and you'll not be able to add anything else onto that page. That page is not really customizable. So whenever you add a category, let's just write it down here. A category page is not customizable. I mean, in the sense that you cannot add anything new over on this page. Only the posts that you have categorized under it will be visible. But stuff like this, additional things will not be visible on a category page. How they're visible on this website here on Digital Vidya's website, they created a page and then they've linked their categories over here. Okay, so this is a different way of showcasing their posts because this is not only a blogging website. So it's important for them to show their product on as many pages as possible, right? So this is a post, this is a post. All of these here are posts. Whatever title intrigues you, you can click on that and read about it. Before you click on a post, you see this image here, right? This image is known as the featured image. Then below that, this is the category for this post. This has been categorized as social media marketing. This is the title for it. And then below that, you can see the name of the person that published this post. And you can also see the date on which this was published. There is one more thing in this view. This is a very small view, so it's not visible, but so like this one here, this post here, you can also see a bit of the content that is posted in the blog right here before you click on the post. This here is known as the excerpt. Now that you click on a post, once again, you will see the title right here. Then you will see the same details over here. You will see the featured image below the title, first thing, and then you will see the content on this post. Then if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, like we also saw yesterday, after a post, whenever a post is like whenever the post ends, you will also see a comment box right there. These are all of the comments that have been posted. And you'll find a comment right here. Right? So you can also drop a comment. Comment box is also a default functionality of a post page. So whenever you add a post, a comment box is added to that automatically by default. You don't have to do that. Same goes with the details that appear at the top. You can edit those details. You can decide what to show, right? But these are also by default. These details are here by default. Now to create a post on our website, once again, going back to the dashboard right here, for pages, we went to pages because that is the option relating to that. For posts, we'll go to posts. So once again, no jargon, right? Very easy to understand. You want to add a post. There is a post section clearly visible right here. So on the left, you locate the post option. Before we add a new post, let's take a look at categories first and add our categories to the website. To add a new category under post itself. So when you hover over posts, you see these four options. You'll see all posts similar to all pages. Then you have add post similar to add pages. And then you have these two extra sections here, these two extra links here. One is categories and one is tags. Both of these are post specific things. These are not available for pages. As you can see right here, I only have all pages and add page option. For posts, we have these four, and these two are for navigation purposes. So categories also help your visitor in navigating amongst all of the posts, and tags also help in a similar function. We are not going to be adding any new tags on our website. We'll just be adding categories for now. So to add a category, I'll simply click on this link right here that says categories. And then I'll see a page like this. This is the interface over here. The first thing that it is asking me to do is name that specific category. So let's say I am creating a digital marketing website. Okay. What can my categories be? What do you think my categories can be if I am creating a digital marketing informational website or blogging website? My categories can be any broad terms under digital marketing, right? Wherein I can fit a lot of posts. I don't just want to post one or two blog posts. I want multiple posts under a category. So I have to take a very broad term under digital marketing to be my category. Same goes for any other niche as well. If you're creating it for any other niche, your website, I mean, then under your niche, let's say uh, you're creating a website for any sports, right? You're creating it for any sports. Let's say you're creating it on football. So you can have three categories, very broad categories you want. One can be um, recent players, one can be best teams, or just teams, not even best teams, because best team can be a post title, right? You can have teams, you can have players, and then you can have stadiums or any others category, the third one, right? These are very broad categories, so I can add anything under these. Uh, Best stadiums in 2025, best stadiums in 2024, best stadiums in 2023. These can be my posts under the stadium category. Under players, I can add any post about any player, right? So that's how it is supposed to be. So this over here, I am creating a digital marketing website. Let's take that example for now and we'll carry it forward. I already have these ones right here. So let's add an email marketing category. So I've entered the name. It is asking me for a slug. You don't have to add this manually. It will be created automatically. We did discuss about slug as well yesterday while we were talking about the quick edit under pages. Slug is the URL friendly version of your title of your name, right? Which means that, like we discussed yesterday, all lowercase and contains only letters, numbers, and hyphens. So no spaces and no special characters other than these. If you were to create an a slug manually, it would look like this for this category. But you don't really have to. So even if you don't enter anything here, it will be created automatically. Then it's asking me whether if this category that I'm creating has a parent category or not. This is to create hierarchy. What this does is whatever category I select here as the parent category, and then after that, Whenever I post a blog under email marketing, that will also be visible in the parent category selected here, right? So if one broad term fits under another, then in that case, you can create a hierarchy like. So if I am talking about social media marketing, let's say, Meta is a whole platform that can, or a whole other category that can fit under social media marketing. So I can say that social media marketing is the parent category of Meta category that I have. Then whenever I post something under Meta, that will also be visible under social media marketing, which makes sense, right? So something like that. For now, you don't have to assign any parent category. So this also, you don't have to do anything. You just have to name it essentially. Then it is asking you for a description. If you want, you can add a description. This description is not visible under every theme, right? So it depends on the theme whether this description would be visible or not. On our theme, the one that we are using, which is Astra, the description is visible. It's visible on the category page. So let me open this one here. I have a description for this. So if this is your category page, you will see the title first, the name of your category. Then you will see the description here if you have one. And below that, you will see your posts. So this is one and this is number two. This is just some gibberish. I've added them in a session. So yeah, right. I can see the category here once again, and I can see the date on which this was posted. This is what is selected on my website as default. Right. So once again, description is also optional. If you want, you can add it. If not, you can skip that. You just enter the name and click on add category. As soon as you click on that, you will see it added on the right here. And you will also see the slug has been created automatically. Then towards the right, it has a count, right? These numbers, this count specifies the number of posts that I have under a specific category. So under Google Ads, I have 2 posts. Pop songs, I have 2 posts. For these, I have 1 post. For social media marketing, I have 2, and etc. etc. According to the requirement for the completion of the website, as we discussed earlier, you guys need 3 categories, at least 3. You can have more if you want to, but you need at least 3 categories on your website, right? According to your niche, you need to think of 3 categories, and then you have to create them and add it to your website. For now, I'm giving you like 5 minutes. That's, I think, a little extra time, but I'm giving you 5 minutes. You guys can try it out. Add a category first, right? Or add 2 categories, or add 3 categories if you have already finalized it, right? But just do it in like the next 5 minutes. So try it out, add the category, and let me know if you have any questions or any issues while adding it. Also, please do let me know once you're done adding the category so that we can proceed further with the post.
Yeah, so yes, yesterday I couldn't devote time to set up the website and the other stuff. So I didn't follow up on what we did yesterday. So I'll do that today, and including this one after we are done with the session.
All right, all right, no problem. But make sure Anish, that you make out some time today for this, so that if you have any issues while doing any of this, we can resolve that in tomorrow's session,
Sure.
right? Because in the upcoming week there are no sessions. We're not keeping any sessions in the upcoming week because of all of the festivals, and it'll be very difficult to connect in the next week,
Sure.
right? So just try to complete this after today. That's it. Cool. So I all right. Done? Are you guys done? Have you added the category? Okay, super. Count describes the number of posts that are categorized under it. This count tells you how many posts are under this category. So I have two here. If I open Google Ads category, if I click on view, I will see two posts under it, right? There are three appearing here because I have assigned it as a parent category for a few of them. But originally there are only two posts under it. So if I click on pop songs as well, I will see two posts, one and two. Okay, that is what count means. So now that the category is created, we'll add a post, a dummy post for now, and then we'll categorize it under whatever category you guys have added. Okay. All of that can be done by when you click on add post right here. We'll take a look at all posts first. We'll take a look at the interface there and then we'll add a new post. So if I click on all posts, very similar to all pages, you will see an interface very similar to that. You have your title here. You have the author right here who posted them. Then you have the category section. What category has this been assigned under? Tags, because I have not created any tags, I cannot see anything here. Same is going to be for you guys because we are not creating any tags for them. Then there is a comment box. I mean, comment number. You will see a number over here. So if this post has 3 comments, you will see 3 here. Right? You can click on that and you can see all 3 comments as well. Then there is the date on which this was published, date and time. Then the same bulk actions at the top, same division or categories here for your posts as well. All yours only, published ones, draft, and if you delete anything, it will be here in trash. So let me delete this one here. So now I have one in trash also. Right? The quick edit, however, will have one additional feature, which is the category section and the tag section. So these two are extra, right? The other things are still the same, which we saw while adding a new page as well. For under posts, you also get the category section and the tag section. So if you want, or if you were not able to categorize a post while adding it, then you can click on quick edit and categorize it from here as well. Once you do that, you just need to update it and it will be saved. Right, so this is the interface here on all posts. Now, if you want to add a new post, just like pages, you'll click on add post here. You can click on this button here, or you can click on add post here on the left, or you can hover over this plus sign and you get a post option here as well. Once again, multiple ways you can click on any of these to add a new post. This editor is also the same. This is the default editor, which is known as the block editor, right? So by default on WordPress, the editor that we are using, page/post editor, is block editor, right? This is the default editor. For adding posts, we can use this. This editor is fine for adding posts. But while creating pages, we'll not be using this specific block editor. We'll use a different one. We'll talk about that. So for now, similar to pages, we first need to add a title to this. So this is in my mind, it's clear that I want to create a post under the new category, which is email marketing. Okay. So I'll add a title which resonates to that, which suits the category, which fits under the category. So let's say let's take a title from Digital Vidya for now because I can't think of anything right now. So let's say this one here, top 10 best email marketing agencies in India. This is my title. And then in the next line after the title, okay, this is where my title ends. Over here, I can start writing my content, right? So whatever content you want to add, you can start adding it over here. Let's once again take this for now. Right, so in the next line, you can start adding content like this. If you want to move to the next line, you press enter, which will take you to the next line over here. Now, let's say you want an image right here after this content that you added. You need a image right below this. So to do that, first of all, you have to be sure, you have to make sure that this line is completely empty. Don't add anything to this line, no content. When this condition is met, you can either enter a forward slash and you will see these options here. To add an image, you select this one. If you want to add a subheading or a heading, you select this. If you want media and text side by side, that is one side image and one side text, then you click on this option. You want to add a list or a multiple images. You can add a gallery, you can add something in quotes, so on and so forth. There are other options as well. Right, so this is one method. You enter a forward slash and you see these options. The second option is towards the end of the line. Once again, I have removed that slash to match the condition that the line should be empty. I can click on this plus sign at the end of my line, which says add block. And then also I'll see all of these options right here. You can click on browse all. There are a bunch of other options as well, hundreds of other options as well, right? But that's going to confuse you. So first, get comfortable with these basic options here. And then you can click on browse all, try to find out other blocks as well. By the way, all of these elements here, all of these things here are known as blocks because this is the block editor. So every line is a block. Every content type is also a block. So let's say I want this media and text option. I'll click on that. And now it's my page is divided into two sections. One side I can add an image. This side I can add my content. Above the image, right above the image, I get these options as well. These are the alignment options for my image and text. If I want it on the left or on the right, I can decide that. If I want it full width or wide width, you cannot see that here for now. But when I publish this on my page, you'll be able to tell the difference. Right? Or on the towards the left most, you always get this option which will give you a bunch of other blocks. If you selected media and text and you don't really now you've changed your mind, you don't really need media and text, you just want to add a single image, you can do that from here. So it transforms to, you can transform your existing block into these blocks that are given here. Same for the text based blocks as well. This is a paragraph block. So if you click on this, you can transform it to these blocks here. Right? Now that I have this image option here, I can upload an image by clicking on upload here. Let's say I add any image for now. I'm just adding any image just as an example. You can resize this from here by dragging this. And then you can add your content here on the left hand side. So let's take this for now. Then I want a list because that is what's next. So I'll add a list here. Let's take the first one from here. Press enter, you move to the next. Right? So this is how you add content over onto your post. Now, if I want to move to the next line, I don't want to add content on the left hand side of this image. I'll click on the image, press enter, and I can start adding content below this now. Right? So this is how you add content to your posts. Now, if you want to edit something, if you want to change the color for a certain line of content, then what you'll do is, or just basic customizations and basic edits for all of these blocks, they appear on the right hand side over here. So if I select this block, which is a paragraph block, I can see the editing options here on the right? So I can change the color of the text. I can change the color of the background. Let's do that. Let's change the background color and the text color as well. Right? So I selected this and I changed the color, simple as that. For the block, this is media and text block. So if I click on this here, now I can see the customizations or the edits for this particular block. This does not give me a lot of options here, right? But the coloring options are still over here. I can change the size of the text as well if I want from here. So that is also right. So once you've added the content, once you're done with the content, let's say this is everything that I wanted to add under this post. Before I publish it, there are a few other things that I have to do, which is number one, I have to categorize this post. and I also have to add a featured image to this post. So to do that, on the right hand side, once again, I am currently on the block section. I'll click on the post section here. Right? These are two different settings that I can do. I can edit the blocks or I can edit the post altogether. So I click on post, then I get this set featured image option right here. You click on that to add a new featured image and then add any image from here, whatever you have. Let's say you add this image for now. Let me add this image. So I've added that featured image here. Then if I scroll down over here, I also get to see my categories. This is an email marketing post. So I need to find the email marketing category here and click on that. So I've selected email marketing from under my categories. I have added a featured image as well. Now my post can be published, right? Repeating once again, before you publish the post, you have to go to the post section here. If you are not able to see this post section, by the way, then it is probably hidden, right? So if you click on this settings button, which is right next to publish, you will get to see both of these options. So you go to post, you add a featured image, you assign the category below that, and then you can publish this post. It is now published. Let's click on view post and take a look at it. And this is how my post looks like. If we go to the category page, so my title is here, category, date, featured image, and the excerpt is right. Right? This is how you add a new post onto your website. Now, once again, before we move forward to the next step, I want you guys to try it out. So people that have their website ready, just add a new post, categorize it. If you don't have any image, you don't have to add the featured image right now. But if you want to try it out, you can add anything here, any image that you have on your system, and then publish it. The content does not need to be perfect. This is just a dummy post. You can add gibberish for now as well. You can delete that post later on and then add a suitable post afterwards. But for now, just try it out. Try adding a new post, add a featured image, categorize it, and then publish it. So take your time. Once again, I'm giving you 5 minutes. Try to do it. Let me know if you have any questions. Also try out adding content and adding different blocks. And let me know if you have any questions.
Yes, what's the difference between static and a dynamic website?
Hey, I think somebody just asked a question, no? Maybe
Yeah, I was asking what is the difference between a static and a dynamic website?
a static and a dynamic website.
Yeah.
Uh, well, just like how the name suggests, static is a kind of website that stays the same for everybody, which is a static information, just like our website here, right? Uh, which stays the same for everybody. If you visit my website, if I visit my website, or if anybody else visits my website, they see the same content, same pages, same files, right? Everybody sees the same thing. And as for the dynamic websites, some parts of the content, some parts of the website can change depending on the person that is viewing it. So if you're viewing it from uh, India, right, it can have some India specific content. If you're viewing it from any other country, it can have that country specific content over there. And it can be a little bit personalized according to the user that is visiting it. That is a dynamic kind of website.
Uh,
Sim-
Right, like how it looks and feels, so that
Sorry. So what was that?
like can we have an example of a dynamic website to understand how it gets different, and like how is it managed? Because now what you are showing is for like we are doing polls, we are doing categories, so for everybody it would look same, but how do they manage it for a dynamic website?
Uh, like the most common example I think that we have in our day-to-day life would be any e-commerce website that you visit. So if you visit Amazon.com, the front page can look different for you and it can look different for me, right? Based on my purchase history, based on my browsing history on Amazon, both of our front pages can look different. So what products I'm interested in, I'll see those on my front page, and what products you are interested in, you will see those on your front page. That is the most, I think, the basic example that I can think of right away. Uh, and any other social media website as well, where the for you page is different for everybody. So that is also a classic example of where things change based on the person that's visiting the website.
Okay, understood.
I think
Also, one more thing, yesterday while you were starting, like, during the website builder part, so there were two options, both of hosting and WordPress. Like,
Mhm.
again, like, so why not choose Hostinger instead of WordPress?
Well, because on WordPress we have much more options. We have a lot more options, which will not have on Hostinger otherwise. And doing SEO on WordPress is much easier than doing it on Hostinger's own website builder. So it's more SEO optimized, which helps you in optimizing your website. Whereas on the Hostinger builder, we're not sure whether it would give you the same results or not. So that's why we use WordPress. Hostinger's website builder is also like a CMS only, just like WordPress. You don't need to know coding or anything else. You can create your website with a few clicks. But it's just that when it comes to SEO friendliness, when it comes to additional features, additional functions, WordPress is just better in all those things. All right. I think we've spared more than enough time. So were you guys able to add a post? Whoever has their website ready, launched, were you guys able to add this post? Any questions while adding the post? Or any issues while adding a new blog, adding the content, anything? How many people have launched the website? Trisha and Surbhi have, right? Anish's website is left. Divyansh, have you launched it? Divyansh, can you hear me? Surbhi, it is that. Okay, Surbhi. All right, thank you for that. Mm, okay, so we'll move forward. In that case, I'm not sure what the rest of you people are doing. So I'm just gonna move on forward to the next step. All right. So next up, what we are going to be doing on our website is we've added a page, we've added a post. We've seen both types of content pages that can be added, right? And we have tried adding them both as well. So you have some practice like once you've added it, so that it'll be a little better for you to remember it when you're adding your posts afterwards, right? That is why I'm giving out time for every activity in the session itself, so that if there is any question, any issue during while adding it, while creating that, we can resolve it in the session itself. Next up, we will be adding two plugins to our website. We'll talk about plugins first, what plugins are. So we'll add two plugins to our website, which will help us in various ways. Let's just first discuss about plugins and what plugins are. So on your website, you can add plugins, right? Think of them, for example, on your mobile device. You have some default applications, some default functionalities, right? Let's say you have a camera app, you have a gallery, you have call feature, you have the messaging function, right? You have the email function, so on and so forth. But if on your mobile device you need some additional application, some additional feature, you add a new application for that from your Play Store, right? So you add a new application on your mobile device if you need a new feature, a new function over. So let's say if you want to stay connected with your friends, with your family, you will add a new social media application onto your mobile device, right? If you want to edit your images a little better, you will add a new image editor onto your mobile device. Same is the function here on websites. If you want to add extra additional functionalities, right? Anything other than the default function, if you want to add something, then you add plugins for that, just like apps on your mobile device, right? And the plugins that we are about to add on our website, these are starter templates and element. So starter templates, like the name suggests, this is the plugin which will help us in adding templates onto our website. Because like I said earlier, we're not going to be creating all of the pages from scratch. That requires a lot of time, because first you have to create the structure of all of those pages. You have to create a framework, and then you start adding content, which can take a lot of time. And it needs experience as well. We cannot just do that as beginners, right? So to gain that experience, first we'll work with templates so that we at least have some idea on how to edit the pages. And this template will give you what is included in these templates: pages, posts, menu, color and font default, that is, and some other customizations as well, right? So your header is also customized, your footer is also customized. Everything comes along with the template. All of these things come along with the template. So whenever you're adding a template, or when we will be adding this template, you need to first take a look at all of its pages, right? It should not have a lot of them, because that is extra work for you, additional work for you. Try to avoid that. Try to have a basic template with maximum 4 to 5 pages, right? If there are more pages than that, then that's going to be a hassle in editing all of them or deleting all of them. So just avoid that. Also take a look at the colors and the fonts of the website. Plus take a look at the header and the footer. All of these things can be customized afterwards as well, but it's a good thing to take a look at everything before you finalize a template and add it to your website. The rest of the things I will talk about while we are adding it. Elementor, the second plugin that we will be adding onto our website. This plugin helps us. This is basically a website builder. All in all, it's a website builder. We will be using it as our page editor. So there is the default block editor, which we were able to see earlier. After we add the template, we will not use the block editor to edit our pages. We'll use Elementor to do that. And the reason for using Elementor is simple, because editing the website on Elementor just looks a bit better. It's easy to understand, and you have drag and drop functionality over here on Elementor. Right, so these are the two plugins that we are going to be adding. To add these two, what we have to do is we'll go back to our website. Over here, you need to locate the option that says plugin on the left. So I have this right here, plugins. Then there is installed plugins and add plugin link here. Install plugins is a page where I can find all of the plugins that are currently installed on my website. And if I go to add plugin, this is where I can add new functionality to my website. Okay, so you go to add plugin. Straight away, you just go to add plugin. Top right, you'll have a search bar right here. In this, first search for Elementor. The spelling should be the same. I am sharing the exact spelling in the chat for this plugin. The first one, that is Elementor. You will see the first one on my screen here on the left, which says Elementor website builder more than just a page builder. This is the one that you have to install and activate. So you'll have to first click on install now. Once that is done, you can have to click on activate as well. Right? This is the first one. Then once this is done, once this is activated, the second one you need to search for, that is starter templates. Once again, it should be an exact match. So I'm sharing this in the chat as well. Starter templates, this is the one that you have to install. AI powered templates for Elementor and Gutenberg by Brainstorm Force. The first one on the left of my screen, this is the one that you have to install and activate. I want you to install these two plugins right away, so that you can see how to add the template in the session itself, and you can also add a template of your own. Because while adding a template, there are a few things that you need to take care of. And if those things are ignored, then you may have to trash your template and add a new template again. So add both of these plugins, then we'll add a template as well. Names of the plugin I've shared in the chat. You can search for, you can just copy that and paste it in the search bar under add plugin so that you do not install a different one. Once you activate starter templates, it can take you to a different page altogether, wherein it will ask you to select the template right away. On my starter templates, my plugin, the page will be a little different. So I want one of you guys to share your screen maybe so that everybody can see the option that they have to do it. So if anybody is done, please let me know with both of these plugins and if you can share your screen as well. Nobody? All right, then I'll just add it over here. You guys can try to figure it out in that case. Okay. So to add a new template, you just go to appearance. You will find the starter template plugin right here. You click on that. You open up starter templates. For you guys, you'll not see this page here. You will land on this page right here. Okay. You don't have to select any template from here. What you will have to do is, if you land on this page, that is, you have to click on back, and this will be for most of you, will land on this page directly. So you click on back here at the bottom left, then you select Elementor from here, and then you have to proceed with the template. Okay, so you have to be sure you have to select Elementor and then select a template. Otherwise, the template that you have will not be editable using Elementor. It will not be compatible. Once you've selected Elementor, however, you land on this page here, wherein you will find all of the templates. Right now, the premium ones are paid. So except for that, if you like any other template, you can add that onto your website. Don't focus on the content of the template. So if this is, so if this is about books, you don't have to focus on the content. Like I said, just take a look at the general structure of the template, the general design of the template. If you like it, you can add it to your website, and all of these things can be edited later on. So don't worry about the content on the website, and also the niche of this particular template. This can be changed. You can add your own images here. You can add your own content here. Everything can be replaced with your own content. So you don't have to worry about anything else. Also, this template has only 4 pages, which is good for me because that's not going to complicate things very much. Then on the left hand side, you can try and change the font as well. If you want to activate a different font, you can do that from here. If you want to work with a different color scheme for your website, you can select these colors from here. Right, whatever colors you like, you can keep those. And once you finalize the font and the colors, if you want to keep the default font, that is also fine. If you want to keep the default color palette, that is also absolutely fine. Just select these options, click on continue, uncheck all of these boxes from here. You don't have to select anything from here. You can click on skip this step below right here. Skip and continue. So I already have a template added onto my website. It is telling me that it is telling me the same thing, that you already have a template, right? And if you want to keep your existing content and images, select this and then click on this. That is what it tells me because I've already used the template. But for you guys, you'll see a form here. You have to fill that out, add your details, and then click on submit and build your website, which will take roughly around 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Once that is completed, the template will be added onto your website, and all of the pages, all of the posts, whatever we discussed earlier, all of those things will be added onto your website now. Right? Everything that was a part of the template will now be a part of your website once you click on submit and build my website. I'm not doing that because I already have a template on my website. It takes roughly 1 to 2 minutes, and after that you get two options. You can either visit your dashboard once again, which is the backend, or you can take a look at your website. Right? That is what it does. So that's how you add a new template over onto your website. We will not be talking about editing the pages or the content in today's session. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's session. All of the customizations, the edits and everything, the basic ones and the page ones, we'll talk about all of those in tomorrow's session. For today, Sylvia, have you installed the starter template plugin? Right. So I asked you to install Elementor and Starter templates. Then only you will see the template options. So you have to install Starter templates first. Once that is installed, you'll find it under Appearance. You go to Appearance and you see Starter templates right. All right. So now since you have activated the template, I don't know how many people are interested in doing that right now. I'm not going to be giving out additional time for this for now, right? Because once you add the template, you can take a look at your website once that is completed, and you will find that whatever pages were a part of the template, whatever content was a part of the template, is now a part of your website, has been added onto your website. Everything that was a part of the template, right? Even the menu at the top. So with whatever time we are left with, we'll talk about menus and we'll see where you can edit and add stuff, add items to your menu. How can you add pages onto your menu? How can you add categories onto your menu? Anything that you want to add onto your menu that you want to be showcased at the top of your website, we'll talk about that. How to add stuff here. For me, this menu is here. For you, the menu can be on the right hand side. It can be in the center, anywhere in the header. Before we talk about menu, you need to understand that on every website can be divided into three broad sections. At the very top over here, this is the header of the website, wherein you can see my menu, you can see my logo, you can also see this button right here. This section at the top is known as the header of the website. Then after the header, wherever that ends, the page starts. So this is your page or post, whatever, right? The content starts for your page or post. Then at the very bottom, if you scroll down, this is the footer of the website. Wherever your page ends, the footer begins. In the footer as well, you will find some other links. You can add a menu here. You can add some other details about your business or your brand right here. Social links have already been added to this particular template, but this can also be added by you. Right, so these are the three sections you can say. One is the header, the center middle portion is your page or post, and then at the very end of the website is the footer. The menu can appear in various locations. Like I said, can be here in the footer, it can be here in the header, and if you're accessing or if you're visiting the website on a mobile device, then in that case you see a menu like this, right? A hamburger icon like this. If you click on that, then you see the entire menu. So this is also a type of menu that can be added. So there are, from that, what we understand is that there are various locations that a menu can be added to, right? There can be multiple locations. And on each of these locations, if you want, you can have a different menu structure altogether. So if I have this menu here, right? And in the footer, I can have different links, different menu altogether. In the hamburger icon, that just so I can have a different menu for the one that I want to showcase to my mobile visitors, right? So different menu structures can be added to different menu locations. There is no limit on how many menus you can create. The locations vary depending on the theme that you are working with. So let's take a look at what options we have on this theme, that is Astra. To do that, on the left hand side, once again, I'll look for appearance, and then under appearance, I'll see the menus option right here. Repeating again, the menus option is located under appearance right here. If you have activated the theme, that is Astra, you will see the menus option right here. So you need to click on menus here. Then because we are working with a template, and I told you that everything that is a part of the template will now be added onto your website. As a part of my template, there are multiple menus that were already created, right? I can see all of those here. So I have this drop down here. I can click on this to see all of my menus. These are the different menus that are there on my template. And I can select the one that I want to edit. Okay, for now, I'll edit the main menu only. Or let's go with the secondary one so that I can showcase adding everything from scratch. So I'm selecting the secondary menu here, then I click on select, and now I am editing the secondary menu. So this depends on the template that you're working with. If your template only has one menu, then you will not see this drop down. You will see that menu here right away, and you can edit that however you want. Okay, then this is where you create the structure of your menu. You add all of the items here in this section on the right. The bottom right is menu settings, wherein you decide the display location of this menu that you are creating. So this menu that I'm creating, and for you guys as well, I want you to have one menu activated on primary menu, off canvas menu, and footer menu. I want a single menu for you guys to be appearing on all these three locations. As of now, you can have a single menu on all these three. Once you're comfortable with all of the customizations, all of the edits, then you can create a new menu and add it to your footer menu if you want. Right, so this is where you create the structure. This is where you have some location settings, and this is where on the left hand side you add the elements from. So let's say I'll delete the services item from here for now. Now my menu is empty, so I need to add something to it. I want to add my pages first, right? So I have all these options here. I can add pages, posts, custom links, and categories. Smart Forms preview is something that I am seeing on my website. It's not a default function, so it will not be visible to you guys. Even if it is visible to you because of your template, you don't have to do anything in this. So I want to add pages. I'll click on pages first. I'll click on view all. These are the pages that are available on my website. So let's start adding the pages first: home, contact, and services. Let's say these are the three pages that I want. So I select all three. I click on add to menu, and now it is added right. Okay, then after this, I want to add a category over here. You can add a post as well directly onto your menu, but I would advise against this. That is not recommended that you add a post directly to your website on your menu. I mean, because that's going to clutter your menu, right? Most of the posts will have a title like this, right? It will have a huge title. So if you add it to your menu, it will take up a lot of space and it will cramp up the other menu items, right? So that's not advised. Don't add your posts directly onto your menu unless and until you want there is a special post or anything like that, right? So since we're not adding posts directly to our menu, how are the people going to see all of them, right? How will my visitor who has just appeared on my website, how will he be able to see all of my posts if I'm not adding that to the menu? To answer that and to help the visitor, what I'll do is instead of adding the post directly, I'll add my categories to the menu. So if he's interested, if my visitor is interested in, let's say, email marketing, they can click on email marketing and whatever posts I have assigned under it, they will be able to read all of them. Right? So I'm adding these 4 categories for now. Let's say I'll click on add to menu and I have all these over here. So this is my menu for now, let's say. Okay, I have assigned the location primary of canvas and footer. Let's save this and see what changes on my website. For now, let's take a look at, before I save it, let's take a look at my menu for now. This is how it looks like, right? Just 4 items. If I save this one here, let me go back, refresh this. And now this is how my menu looks like. So this image here is sort of obstructing the view, right? So either I can change my image or I can change the way how my menu appears. So we'll change the way for, we'll change some of the items here in the menu so that it fits in this space only. How are we going to do that? I want to show all of my categories. I want to show all of these 3 pages. How do I make it fit in this much space? I can either decrease the font size, but if I do that, it will be too small to read, right? Or I can move my image to the right. I can decrease the size of my image. If I do that, it will affect this text here as well. So I'll have to edit this also. So my way out for now is that I create a drop down. So I can create one menu item here under which I can see all these 4 menu items. Because all these are my categories, so I can have a single drop down and then these 4 can pop up under that. Right? That is something that can be achieved. So to do that, once again, I'll come back to menus. This is the one that I was creating. And now because I've decided to add drop down also, before we do that, also take a look at the order in which these are appearing. So I have home, contact, services, left to right, right? And over here, this is the order, which tells you that the topmost item will appear over here in the extreme left, and the bottommost icon will appear in the right hand side of your menu. Right? So top to bottom is equal to left to right. Now to create a drop down, what I'll do is, there is one option that we did not talk about, which is custom links, right? So I'll add a custom link to create drop downs. The custom link option is used for this purpose, right? To add drop downs, or the other usage is if you want to add any other external link which is not there on your website. So if you have a subdomain, right? Just like Digital Vidya, we have a main website and then there is a subdomain which is the LMS account, training.digitalvidya.com. So if Digital Vidya wants, they can add training.digitalvidya.com, this link on the main menu itself using a custom link. So similar, if you also have a sister website, any other website, you can add that link over here as well. But for now, we'll use this for creating dropdowns. So we need to provide a URL. We don't have one because this is just a dummy link. So we'll add a hashtag here in the URL, just one hashtag and nothing else. Link text may you can add anything. You can add, let's say, blogs. You can add categories, or if you can think of anything else, you can add that as well. Let's say for now I add blogs. Right, so link text is blog, URL is hashtag, click on add to menu. It appears here on the right hand side. Now I'll take this custom link, I'll click on it, drag it to the top of all of my categories, drop it here first. This is the first step. The second step is moving all of these categories to the right just a little bit. So I'll start with the first one here, email marketing, move it to the right, drop it here, then keep adding all of them in a single file. Now this is, all these are, you can see the sub item listed in front of them. This is tagged. And since all of them are in a single line, it means that they'll appear under blogs and in a drop down fashion. If I want to create multiple drop downs, I can move it here. So these two will appear under blogs. These two will appear under search engine marketing. Right? That's how you create drop down. So let's shift it back because okay, so this is my menu structure now. This is how it looks like with these 4 sub items under blogs. I have assigned the location already. Let me save this. And now let's see what changes on the website. I'm refreshing this. So now that issue is resolved, right? Nothing is overlapping over here. I can clearly see the 4 items on my menu. If I hover over blogs, I'm able to see my 4 categories as well, very clear. If I click on any of these, I am able to see the post under the category as well. So I know that everything is working fine now. Repeating the steps very quickly. To create a menu or to edit a menu, you first go to appearance, then you go to menus here. Then if there are multiple menus, you select a menu to edit. If not, if there's a single menu, you can start editing it right away. This is the part where you create the structure of your menu. You create the order of all of the items. Below that, you have display location settings. And you have to keep one menu in these three locations: primary menu, off canvas menu, and footer menu. Then on the left hand side is where you add all of your menu items from, right? You add your pages from here. If you want to add a post, you add it from here. Custom links you are going to be using to create a drop down, just like how I did now. For that, you will enter a hashtag in the URL. Link text can be whatever you want, and you need to just add it to the menu. Then you also have to add your categories onto your menu. So to complete your website, like we discussed earlier, you need 3 categories. You need to have those 3 categories on your menu itself. Once all of those things are here, bring your categories under the custom link. Then starting off with the first one, start moving them to the right hand side, dragging them to the right in a single file. Once they are in a single file, if you want to adjust the order once again, you can do that. You can move about the things that you want to, right? So I have home, blogs, then contacts, and then services. Once you finalize the order, selected the locations, and all of this work is completed, you need to click on Save menu. Then visit your website, take a look at it, and check whether everything is working fine or not. That is how you create and edit the menus on WordPress. Right? So yeah, so this is how you create menus. In today's session, we discussed about a lot of things. Make sure to complete all of this before tomorrow's session. I also have a task for you guys. I want you to create a logo for your website, which we'll see tomorrow how to add that onto the website. I want you to create a logo. You can use Canva for that because you'll have to create it in a custom size, right? So use Canva. The size that you have to create your logo in is so that the size of your logo should be 540 into 180 pixels. Although the recommended size by WordPress is 180 by 60 pixels, but this can get pixelated and this can get blurry because of less pixels over here, obviously. So we've just kept the same ratio and bumped it up 3 times. This is your recommended size for the logo. You have to create it in a 540 by 180 pixel size. To add a custom size or to create a custom size logo, what you have to do is you have to go to canva.com. You have to sign up over here if you are not already If you don't have an account already, just sign up using your Gmail ID. Then once you are over here, you might see a logo option here itself. You don't have to select that. Instead of that, click on custom size here. Enter the width, the size that I just told you about, 540 into 180. Units will be px because that is the units for pixels. Then you create new design. And this is where you have to create your logo. Now you can use any element from here. You can add text. Obviously, try to keep your logo sort of minimalist. Don't add a lot of elements to it. Also, take a look at your template first, what template you're working with. So you need the template first for this, right? Then create your logo according to the colors on your template, whether it would look good with the template or not, whether it would be visible with all of the elements there or not. So you need to keep all of that in mind before designing your logo. If you need some inspiration for this, there are two websites. One is looka.com. Let me share this link with you. The other one is logomaker.com without an E. Both of these are AI powered platforms. You can just need to give it the prompt. That is, you just need to tell it about your website, right, or your brand. For example, this is the name of my website. Let's say this is the name of my brand. Then I click on get started. That's a first. Wow, okay. Not sure what the issue is there. I think they've just decided to not work in India. But anyways, logomaker.com, then in that case is the only option you have. You can also try Looka out on your devices. I don't know if whether this is specific to my device because I've used Looka before. I don't know what's happened today. You can try it out on your devices as well. If that does not work, Logo Maker is still there. You can select AI logo generator. Give it the name. Now remember, these websites are just for inspiration. You cannot download the logos from here because that is a paid function. So you're just taking inspiration from here. Login website. Digital marketing blog website. Just select all of these options, select the one that you are inclined towards most, right? And this will depend on the colors of your template, the colors of your theme. Verify everything here. Click on generate logo, which will take 2 minutes at max. And then it will give you a bunch of different variations. Some can be, some you'll find that you will not be able to use, but some of these you can still use. So let's say if you like this one here, right? Now, because you cannot download it, that is a pro function, that is a paid function. What you have to do is you come back to Canva in the same design, right? Add the text box, add your brand's name just like how it is there. You can change the font, play around with the font a bit if you want. Then there is a notebook here. So I'll go back, select elements, and I'll search for a notepad. See all graphics. This is a free one. All of the ones with this icon here are premium ones. Right, so this is a free one. It looks fairly similar. So let's take this here, add it to my logo. And now add a text box again. Bring it here. Just, okay, so I've created this in a, like I've not taken a lot of time, but you can change the font. You can change the font for this. You can change the colors for your notepad if you want to, right? You can do all of that here. So this is, I use this for inspiration, and then I try to create something similar over here. That is what you can also try out. So you can use Logo Maker for inspiration and then try to create something similar on Canva. Once you're done with that, you can download this. Just keep it with you after you've created it, and we'll upload it in tomorrow's session. Yes.
Okay.
The size is 540 by 180 pixels. Don't forget that. I am creating a temporary link for these notes as well today. Once again, the password is same 123456778. Sharing the link in the chat for all of the notes once again, including today's. Although these are not in order or anything, but I think these can still help. Right, so yeah, this is your task. You have to create a logo and try to complete everything that we have worked on in today's session before your last session, because tomorrow is the last session, and if after that you have some doubts, it can be a while before we can connect again. So make sure to complete all this stuff before tomorrow's session. Bring your doubts so that we can talk about all of the doubts as well. We can try to resolve them before the last session. And tomorrow's session is majorly going to be about customizations and editing the template itself. For today, till today, we have seen how to add all these stuff onto our website. In tomorrow's session, we'll talk about how to edit all of the things that we've added. How to change the look and feel, how to change the appearance. That is our agenda for tomorrow's session. Also, along with the logo, I want you guys, since we have discussed about categories now, I want you to come up with 3 categories for your niche and add them to your website as well. Right, these are 2 of your tasks for today. For today, that was about it. If you guys have any questions from whatever we've covered, please let me know.
So these are all about static websites. We'll be covering dynamic website as
Not really, Anish, not really, because that involves a lot of things. To create a dynamic website, we need some level of technical knowledge as well before we can try and create something like that. Because that depends, we'll have to create an algorithm. Depending on the algorithm, the it will vary for person to person. So it's a bit technical.
It will require like some knowledge of web development, right?
Yes, exactly. And that is majorly used for websites like e-commerce websites, or now that I think about it, websites like your streaming websites also use the same thing. So everybody has a different homepage depending on the stuff that you like. That is how dynamic websites work, essentially. So even on YouTube, if you visit, my homepage would be different, your homepage would be different, everybody's homepage would be different, right? That is what dynamic means. Not really required for this sort of website. Or if I open a product itself, not even the dynamic sort of website for that. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? Anybody? Okay, I guess not. Yeah, so that was it for today's session, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in tomorrow's session. That's going to be our last session. We'll talk about the customization. Like I said, for today, that was it. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sir, what is the password of the link?
128, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.